Eating lots of tacos is delightful. It's gone everywhere. It's gone everywhere. Guys, welcome back. It's Plant-Based Face Off. It is the Easter weekend in the UK. And I thought to myself, Easter, what does everyone have at Easter time? That's right, mince. Veggies and vegans will all know it's a nightmare to replicate. So I'm hoping one of these three will prove the doubters wrong. First up, a brand I hadn't seen up until this point, Naturally's Minced All-Star. Now this is made with pea protein, and they've gone with the whole sort of, it looks like just meat mince kind of look. Next up, Future. We've tried their burger and sausages, and now it's time for their mince. Now they've gone for the same thing here, a bit of real life looking mince in there. This looks a bit more convincing than the Naturally stuff, but the proof is in the main meal. Never the pudding, it's never in the pudding. And finally, Vivera are back with their plant-based mince. Now this looks a bit different to original mince like you'd get from the supermarket, but I'm hopeful that it tastes nice. I've heard good things. I had to think quite carefully about what format to try these mince products in. Partially because I didn't want to take away from the video, partially because I had to think, what do people want? But also because I didn't want to make 3 bologneses. I've gone for tacos. Old El Paso has come to the rescue. Suggestion on the box here, make it veggie by replacing the beef mince with grated courgette and sliced mushrooms. I don't think so, Old El Paso. I'm doing it my way. First up, guys, it is the mince from Naturally. Now, all 3 of these had slightly different cooking instructions. Naturally just had none, absolutely nothing, no advice. It did have a little thing saying, click here for video recipes, or go to this website for video recipes. I don't have time for that. I just want to make my mince quick. Just want to make my mince. So I've done what any right-thinking person would do and put it in a pan with a bit of oil on a medium heat. So that's what I've done, cooked it up till it looked about right. All I've done is added the Old El Paso magical taco flavoring, because I really want to see what this mince tastes like. It's a bit sort of mushy, which I know is a grievance for a lot of vegans and veggies when it comes to fake mince. While cooking, it sort of smelt okay, maybe a bit off. So I'd say it soaks up the flavour of the flavouring well, but there is a bit of a lingering aftertaste of the sort of pea protein, I suppose, which is a bit off-putting. It's just not quite right. It's got a bit of sort of bounce back to it, but it is quite mushy and bitty. As you can see, it's just sort of falling down in sort of wet clumps, which is a bit disappointing. Next up, it's the Future Farm mince. Now, as I said, we have already tried their burgers. We've tried their sausages. Their sausages won Plant-Based Face Off. So I'm quite hopeful for this stuff. Now, this does quite helpfully on the pack tell you how to cook it. You basically season it up, bit of salt and pepper, whack it in a pan with oil, medium heat, 5-ish minutes, till it goes brown, till it tastes nice. That's when you know it's ready. And I have to say, in the pan, the actual texture was a lot more like legitimate mince meat. I was a bit dubious about the smell as it was cooking. You know, when you're cooking it up and you think to yourself, what have I done? Now you can see here already, it's in sort of more formed, thicker, chunkier, spongier chunks, a bit like real mince meat, which is a good sign. Taco flavored kisses. I'm getting flashbacks with this. This tastes great. And I think what they've done is they've minced up whatever they use for their Future Farm sausages, because this is so meaty tasting. It soaked up the flavour of the Old El Paso seasoning quite well, but it almost tastes like you wouldn't even need that. It's that good. The texture's quite on point. It's not quite a beef mince taste, a beef mince flavour. It's more sausagey, but if meat is what you're craving, and I know a lot of you are, this may well do the job for you. And third and finally, it's a new era, people. It's Viv era and their mince. Now, this was a very different format to the other two. It wasn't pretending to be meat by its looks at all. It wasn't trying to look like meat. Straight up, they were just like, I'm telling you, it's mince, and you're gonna have to take my word for it. So it was sort of in dry bits, went in the pan as dry bits, cooked around in oil, it's still dry bits. And it wasn't until I added the seasoning and a little bit of water that it sort of came together. So I think this is stuff that's supposed to be put with some sort of sauce. You can see it's in bits and a bit sort of mushy, but it's got a bit more to it, a bit more substance, a bit more sponginess to it. Taste, you can tell it has soaked in some of that old El Paso seasoning, but it's also got a funny aftertaste. In terms of the texture, it sort of holds and does have a fair, decent sort of chewiness to it, but it's also quite clumpy together and mushy at the same time, which I know from my degree is a technical term, definitely. So, having smashed through those 3 stripped back tacos, I can reveal the winner of this week's plant-based face-off mince is Future Farms. They've done it again. 2 wins for Future Farms now. They're making waves. They're making waves out here, guys. If you want a meaty tasting mince, try theirs out. It's good. The texture, I think, was quite impressive as well. The fact that it had the texture and a meaty taste and cooked up quite nicely. Why wouldn't you give it a go? As for the other 2, I think they'd be all right in the right context. It was just the sort of aftertaste that they left, which just left me thinking, oh, you're so close. You're so close. So give them a go by all means. Let me know how you find them. Catch you guys in the next one.